Hey guys, this is Josh Farley back with another video. In this video, I just wanted to shoot out a quick video talking about 5G signal. And I actually did some research online, and I actually put in Google here. I typed in 5G signal not good in bad weather. So I've actually had problems with the 5G signal in our area. It's actually weak and spotty in our area anyway with the T-Mobile 5G home internet. And not only that, but with my phone as well. So I figured I'd do some research on the 5G signal and stuff. And it seems to be like a combination. It could be a combination of them working on the towers and the network. Because like I've said in my other videos that I recently posted, they told me that they're doing tower modernization in my area, particularly on the 5G network. So it could be a combination of that. And it could also be because I'm having bad weather. I'm actually having bad weather tonight. I actually posted a video not long ago, about an hour or so ago, probably not even, about, I was kind of ranting because I was, having problems with the 5G signal, with the T-Mobile 5G home internet. It was actually defaulting back to the 4G signal. So I decided to look into it, a little bit further. So I typed in here on Google 5G signal not good in bad weather, and this actually came up. Does weather impact internet connection speeds? And it says here liquid water has a broad absorption spectrum in microwave wavelengths, which is how microwave ovens work. Most satellite, fixed wireless, Wi-Fi, and 5G signals fall into these frequencies, which means if there's rain or clouds between the transmitter and your receiver, some of the signal will be absorbed. So, as we go down here, it says here, can weather affect 5G signal? And if I push this, it'll say, it says heavy rain and thick fog can absorb and scatter the higher frequency 5G waves, leading to signal loss and reduced performance. While, now this is the big thing, while 4G signals are also affected by rain and fog, they are more resilient than 5G due to their lower operating frequencies. So, basically what that's saying is like 4G, 4G LTE, 3G, 2G, if that's even still a thing, since they operate on lower frequencies than 5G, then 5G is more affected because that's a higher frequency. So, that's definitely not a good thing. That's definitely not a good thing. So in my opinion, I think that they need to make the, it's just still, not there yet with the 5G. I'm just trying to say, that's basically what I'm trying to say. The 5G is still not there yet. So, basically what this is saying is that 4G LTE or 4G, or even 3G, that's still, on some people's phones, or 2G. But basically what it's saying is that it's basically saying that the 5G is not there yet. It's not good enough to take over the 4G or the 4G LTE signals, is basically what it's saying. And that was actually posted September 18th, 2023, so that wasn't that long ago. And this one was also posted on September 27th, 2023, so that definitely wasn't long ago either. So, it's basically saying that 5G is still iffy, especially when it comes to weather and stuff. And like I've said, in our area, our 5G is spotty anyway. I can only get it like one place in our house, with my phone. Like I can get it in my sister's old room, that I'm actually sitting in right now, but I can actually only get it, when it's good weather. When it's bad weather, I can't get it. And it's the same thing at the school that I work at. I actually work at a school. I'm a nighttime custodian. If you guys are new to the channel, I've said it before in some of my other videos. But I'm a nighttime custodian, and there's a water tower, literally like in walking distance to me from the school, from the elementary school that I work at. And I've noticed that it sometimes gets 5G, it sometimes doesn't. It sometimes gets 5G UC, it sometimes doesn't. And when it's raining and it's bad weather, all I get is 4G LTE or 4G. I don't even get any 5G when it's bad weather there. And that's saying something. That's actually crazy because I'm right near the tower in walking distance. And I still can't get 5G signal. When it's bad weather there. So that's definitely not good. And not only that, it's still spotty, in some of the classrooms there, that I clean up and stuff. Most of the time I get 4G LTE there. Most of the time, every once in a great while I'll get like 5G or 5G UC. But if I lose, if like I move a little bit to my left or my right, then it loses the signal. And it'll go back to LTE, 4G LTE or 4G. So it's definitely still evolving. I basically should say. It's still not all the way there yet. It's definitely spotty in our area. And that's like 28 minutes away, almost a half hour away that I work at. Where I work at, and the tower is literally right there. In walking distance. So, I'm hoping that with these upgrades that they're doing, the woman from T-Mobile, she told me, when I chatted with her about a few days ago or so, she told me, that they're doing tower modernization on the 5G particularly, in my area. So, I don't know if that's for the area at work, where I work at. I'm not really worried about that because, I get, basically 4 bars of 4G LTE there. The speed's as good as the 5G, no, but they're very usable, and I have really good connection when I call my mom and stuff. Or text my mom or text anybody, call anybody, all that kind of stuff. I have, like crystal clear, reception with that and stuff, with the phone calling and texting. But, I'm not really so worried about that, the work, LTE or, the work cellular, but, I'm more worried about, where I live at, where we live at. We live in a rural area, and I want to, I'm hoping that they actually, make the signal better, here because, like I said, if water and stuff can affect it, that's definitely not a good thing. Rain, storms, wind, that's definitely not a good thing. And like I said, we only get a weak signal anyway, as it is. So they said that they're going to be, modernizing the tower, particularly on the 5G, particularly, I'd have a hard time saying that, sorry, but, like I said, with that, I'm hoping, that they're going to actually, around April 27th, like they said, I'm hoping that I'm going to actually get at least a good signal, with the 5G, or see that my phone is actually improved, getting 5G signal. It's just not good that it's so spotty, especially in this area, with a tower right down the road from me, literally right down the road from me. I shouldn't be getting a weak signal with the T-Mobile 5G home internet, especially since I have a waveform 4x4 antenna connected, the Chester Cheetah version 2. If you guys are new to the channel, that's my setup. I have a Chester Cheetah version 2 gateway / modem, whatever you want to call it, with band locking and tower locking and stuff like that, and network switching and stuff like that, and VPN, all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't seem to help with the signal. That's the bad thing. In my area, the 5G is just very spotty. In this area, so there's not really much I can do about it. Until they upgrade it. Until they make it better. There's not really much I can do about it. So I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I'm just gonna have to deal with it defaulting to the 4G LTE or the 4G signal at times, when it gets bad weather and stuff. I'm probably just gonna have to deal with that, and then when it's not bad weather, I'll just have that, 5G signal still, the weak 5G signal, which is still good though. I still get 500 to 600 on the download, even with a weak 5G signal, so that's definitely not bad at all. I mean, I'm not complaining about that at all. But the main thing that I think they need to improve on is the is the signal, the 5G signal, in general, when it's bad weather, when it's, cloudy, when it's rainy, when it's storming, when it's snowing, sleeting, any kind of bad weather, I think that they need to improve on the 5G. But, it goes back to the same old thing. That's why I'm making this video. I'm just letting you guys know, that it's not there yet. It's not there to take over the 4G or the 4G LTE yet. It's just not good enough yet. And I'm not jumping ship or anything. I'm not gonna leave T-Mobile. I'm not gonna leave them. I'm not gonna leave them from my phone carrier. I'm not gonna leave them from the 5G home internet. I'm gonna stay with them, because they are improving. It is improving, but it's gonna take time. It's gonna take a few years, for the 5G to improve. So I'm gonna, like I've said in my other videos, we don't have many internet options here. We can't get Verizon 5G home internet. They told me we can't get it. It's not available in our area. The best we could get with them is 4G LTE home internet, and I don't want that from them, honestly, because I know it would be much slower than what we're getting with the 5G, even with the weak signal. And the spotty 5G in this area. I know that the 4G LTE would be much worse. So I'm not even going to chance that. I'm not even going to try it. With the Verizon, and the next thing, from that would be the, Comcast or Xfinity, whatever you want to call them, and they're, crazy expensive unless you bundle with them, and, sign up for a contract and all that, and I don't want to do that, so, and neither does my mom, so, we've been through that, hundreds of times with them. We were with them since 1994, and they could never give us a good deal, never give us a lower rate. So, we finally left them, for the T-Mobile 5G home internet. The next best thing, if you want to call it a best thing, would be satellite internet, and that's a no-no, because I've read bad things about that. I've read that they're even slower than like 4G LTE internet. So, I'm not gonna, jump ship or anything. I'm not, gonna do that. I mean, we get it for like $40 a month. So, I'll definitely deal with that. I'll definitely deal with the minor inconveniences, of it switching to 4G LTE or 4G, when it's bad weather. It's not really that big of a deal, because I know after the bad weather is over, it's going to go back to the 5G signal. So, but, it's going to take time for it to improve. So that's, basically what this video is about. I figured that I would talk more about it. 5G is just not there yet. It's still a newer technology. It's not, anywhere near, ready to take over 4G LTE or 4G, or even the older ones like 3G or 2G. 2G isn't really used for, data and stuff, but, it's not meant to take over 4G or 4G LTE, at least right now. It's not. So, I'm going to stick with T-Mobile 5G home internet. I'm going to stick with them, because we don't have many options in this area. That's the main reason. And not only that, like I said, when the weather is good, we don't really get bad weather like all the time here. So it's not, really that big of a deal. People that live in like places like London, or France or somewhere like that, where they get rain all the time, that would definitely be a bad thing. But for me, it's not really that big of a deal. I can deal with the, the slower speeds when when there's bad weather and stuff. It's not really that big of a deal, because I know, after the bad weather is over, it's going to go back to the 5G speeds that we normally get. So I'm not, really that concerned about it. But, for people that live in other areas, like France or England, somewhere like that, stuff like that, places like that, where it rains constantly, or it's always windy, or it's always, snowing, sleeting, just bad weather in general, like all the time, then it probably wouldn't be for you, is basically what I'm saying, depending on how far you are from a tower, also, so you have to keep that in mind also. But, I just wanted to get this video out there, guys. I'm actually going to get off of here and, probably get something to eat and then head to bed. I put another video out, on my channel. I did some speed tests tonight. I did, a speed test video, using the 4G LTE, because it is actually bad weather. We don't get as fast as speeds, nowhere near, on the 4G LTE or the 4G, when it defaults to that, when it's bad weather. But, I also think that could have, something to do with the tower modernization, because it actually didn't used to do that. Like I said in my other video, it actually didn't used to do that. It didn't used to, bounce around the 4G to 5G, 4G, 5G. It didn't used to do that. So I think that it could be a combination of the bad weather, and then doing, the tower maintenance in my area, the tower modernization, particularly on the 5G network, like they said. So, that's definitely not a good combination when they're working on the tower, and then, they're upgrading the tower, and then, you have bad weather on top of that. And, they said that it's gonna, it's probably gonna be complete. The tower modernization in my area, is probably gonna be complete. They said around the April 27th, and it's actually April 12th right now. So, we got a few more weeks, until it's, going to be complete. So you have to keep that in mind as well. But yeah, like I said, guys, it's definitely not there yet. The 5G is just not there yet. But I'm not going to jump ship or anything. I'm going to stick with T-Mobile, for my phone and my, 5G home internet. I'm not going to, switch or anything. I'm going to give them a couple of years, to get it right, get it, not get it right per se, but get it better. Like I'm hoping that I can actually get instead of a weak 5G signal, I'm hoping that I can actually get a good 5G signal, or a very good 5G signal, or even an excellent 5G signal, at least in the coming years, maybe not right away, but I would be happy with at least a good 5G signal, after April 27th, after they said that they're going to be done, with the 5G upgrades in this area, so that's actually what I'm hoping for, is at least get a good 5G signal, go from weak to good. That would definitely be an improvement, and especially if it can stay, and it can't go out, if it, I just want it to be able to stay, on the 5G, when it's bad weather, that's what I'm hoping for, instead of having to, restart the gateway, after bad weather, to get the 5G signal back. I hope that, that, becomes a thing of the past soon here or so, but, we'll see. It's not really that big of a, inconvenience, like I said, because I can restart it from my phone. I can restart it from my, Google, Google Home. I can just tell my Google Assistant to restart it. Stuff like that. I can go into the admin, thing on the Chester Cheetah and restart it that way. It's not really that big of a deal. It's not like I have to go up there and manually do it. So it's not, that big of a deal. But anyway, like I said, I'm hoping, that it does improve, but, I figured I would, shoot a video out, and talk about this a little bit, between the 5G and the 4G signal. So, if you guys experience this, definitely let me know down below in the comments. I would really like to hear from you guys, and with your guys' experience, with the T-Mobile 5G home internet, especially when it's bad weather, definitely let me know, how yours acts, if you lose 5G signal, if it defaults back to 4G signal, stuff like that, definitely let me know. I definitely like to know, your experience with it. But anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, just wanted to get this video out there, and if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and until next time, guys.